Hi, this is Mel from Bangle Whisper. I hope all of you are doing awesome. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Today I'm going to do a story. So this is a story about a lady named Neha. So Neha lived in a very fine quality condo, and she had the perfect picture perfect life, and she had a big job at big corporate office. I mean, it would look picture perfect for from everyone outside, but in deep down she wasn't happy because even though this job because of the job and lots of money, she had this wonderful condo in New York, and she had this job which paid a lot of money, but the work was almost like 7 days a week, and she was always on call, and she just never had time for anything. So one morning, one fine Saturday morning, she just had her tea, milk tea with sugar, and then she realized that she just wants to go for a long drive at the countryside. And she had some momos, some fried, some steamed momos, and then she's on her way to exploring the countryside, and she took a bag with her because she wanted to spend the weekend, and she was just going very slowly in her car and enjoying the view, and somewhere in her mind, she wanted to live in the countryside. And all of a sudden, there was this huge thunderstorm and rain, and Neha could hardly see anything. And then suddenly, she found her car crashed into a tree. Then she saw, when she was feeling very weak, she yelled out because she saw a lady with a little lantern light, a hurricane light, standing outside her cottage, and it was very run-down cottage, but the lady was standing there. So Neha keeps shouting, yelling, and then the lady came and rescued her from the car, and she had bumps and bruises, some painful bumps and bruises. And then this lady took her inside the run-down cottage, which seemed for Neha very run-down, considering the fact that she lived in this most beautiful Manhattan apartment. Now, this lady, when she took out her gown and veil, and saw this was no simple lady, this was a witch. And then she created a wonderful potion tea and gave it to Neha. Neha drank it and she fell asleep. And in her sleep, she was feeling like she was talking to the lady. Lady was asking her a lot of questions, and there she said that she has this simple wish to live in a country, a simple life where everything is there, and she doesn't have to work 7 days a week, and doesn't have to be lonely in a city, and just live like a machine. She felt in the countryside that people were living like true human beings, living their true purpose, getting to know their neighbors, working side by side each other, and the trees and the animals and the birds and the beautiful nature. Everything was so good. And there was a barn too in the back of the building, and this barn had all the chickens and other animals. So morning, Neha just got up and went to see everything, and she didn't see the lady anywhere. But she went and she was looking for the lady, and she didn't see it. And then she saw this wonderful cottage, and next to it this beautiful water, like a little stream or pond. And so there was a water source, and this cottage had everything to live. And there was a note in the cottage, and it says that this is for you, Neha, to explore and live here for a month. And while I go gather my seeds for my potions and my herbs and spices, and there were many things written on that paper which Neha was reading, and she said that this witch actually collects herbs and spices and makes her potion tea, and which heals everybody in the village. But there were certain people who gave her a bad name because they wanted to sell their products, so they gave a bad name to the witch. But witches were really not bad because they had the wisdom to know which herbs and spices heal which condition. So as Neha's all her pains were gone, and then the witch which name was Miss Dorma. Miss Dorma replied that she said that Neha gave her some money for taking care of her, about $1,000. So she said she's going to use that money to get all the seeds she needs and some hired help to grow everything. But in return, Neha can stay there as long as she wants. Entire place she can use it and stay. So Neha was browsing around. The beautiful sunshine came, and sun was coming out of through this river, and as if like everything was provided by God for free. And Neha was so amazed and mesmerized and surprised that we work all our life like slaves all day, 7 days a week, to have a place to live and have a nice bathroom and room, but where we cannot even stay because we're working all day. And here the nature is so beautiful, everything is so amazing, peaceful, perfect. And all Miss Dorma's last witch needs is few seeds, and she bought this place some hundreds of years ago when her grandma was alive, the witch's grandma was alive, as she was telling Neha, and the place cost her that time $50. And now today she has everything that she needs to survive. And the witch said she's actually some 120 years old. But she looked to Neha like in her 30s, and Neha herself was 28. And even at age 28, after high school, after college, and after a corporate job, she's already burned out, and she basically has no motivation, no desire to go on or purpose to work. But looking at this beautiful nature and the birds singing and the water, and it just gave her a new purpose. And then she saw that really beautiful woodshed for all the animals that Miss Dorma had, and the land was so big. It's just a huge land. Obviously, Miss Dorma didn't own the entire land. There were some other witches too, but they were all like a community. They did not fence up anything. They are living next to each other like family. And these beautiful cows were gazing in the grass so peacefully, like no business in the world, enjoying their food. I mean, animals actually show us how to live stress free, how to live peacefully. And Neha thought, it's true. I never seen a bird or a cow or a deer cough or even sneeze. So it is so amazing in nature, in cold, in hot, in summer, all these animals are there and they're breathing the same air as we are. How come they're not sick? How come they're roaming around freely without any kind of so-called sicknesses? And us humans are bombarded with all kinds of sicknesses. So she thought that this is the answer. And there was some beautiful looking sheep and little baby sheep. They were so cute. Neha wanted to just hug them and cuddle them. And there was this one sheep, she was rubbing her body against a big tree trunk. It felt like as if the sweater is too much for that sheep. And there's like a huge sweater wearing, she's getting all itchy in her body. Nia felt like this is the first time in years that she actually enjoyed things and actually watched, actually laughed, like how wonderful these things in natures, and they are far more better friends than any fake city friend she had who would just smile at her face, and as soon as she turned her back they would probably be talking about her. So she felt so happy and lively for the first time in her life, and she realized that this is all I need. And in there she saw a beautiful waterfall. So literally everything was there, the animals, the chicken to eat egg from, the sheep to have her wool to warmed up in the winter, and the water, and the fruits and vegetable trees, and all the herbs and spices and wonderful teas to heal any kind of pain or anything which is coming up. And she got a basket and just started collecting all the fruits and vegetables, and she was so happy. First time she felt like she's finally lively alive, and the apple trees were so good, big apple. She realized that she has so much food that she can eat it, she can sell it, she can just share with others, like she will never get hungry. And all kinds of food, apple, oranges, pimentos, pomegranate, and many kind of plum, pears, and all cherries, all kinds of trees. All the witches, they created all kinds of beautiful garden, fruits and vegetable garden, that no one will ever go hungry. After they ate as much as they could eat, and then they sold these to the market, and they got some cash to buy their grains and buy their seeds and buy their medicine, which was all herbs and spices. They brewed it as a tea. Wonderful grapefruit. Neha just picked one for her breakfast. She will never go hungry again. The bananas. It's just what was not there. Everything was there. Everything was required to sustain a good life without slaving for the corporation. She had everything in her hand, and she was so happy and blessed to be in the magical land with everything is provided for free by God. And she was so blind all this time that she couldn't see that God actually gives us everything that we need to sustain a good life. This apple trees probably have thousands of apples. You could eat so much apple, And then cherry tree. Each cherry has a seed, and the cherry tree probably got millions of cherries, so she will never run out of it. And lemon tree, everything, lime, lemon. She was so astonished to see oranges, beautiful oranges. They had everything. Neha was so blessed, and she thanked the God for breaking the car so that she could actually enjoy and have answer to her misery. And now that her misery is over and she got her wish, because the witch is not coming back for next 1 or 2 months, and now she can stay here. And then if she never wants to go, she doesn't have to go. She can just rent her city place and use that money to buy seeds and grains here and share the place with the witch, which has 3 4 these small huts and barns and all kinds of animals. And the fruits were just breathtaking. All the fruits and vegetables all the witches together grew. Neha had a special respect for witch, and she knew witches are not what they are told by everyone through the stories. Witches actually had the answer to all the problems, and they knew how to brew tea to bring people to health. And she was so blessed, and she saw a beautiful butterfly and water stream, and she was truly blessed for God to providing us everything that we need. And her simple wish came true, and she was totally filled with gratitude. This place was heavenly. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment.